Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, it's Monday morning. You know the drill. Grab your favorite beverage. Oh, look, it's a new mug. Yes, this is the mug that I painted with my mother. Hold on, let me switch hands so you can see the other side with the coffee dribbled down it. It says, I love you. And I think it's a really good reminder. It's interesting, when I did it, the person at the shop said, oh, who is this for? And I said, this is for me. It's a reminder I love me. So something that I did with my mom. It turned out okay. As much as I stressed over that heart, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Grab your beverage, and join me while we chat a little bit. Yeah, you know, this weekend I went and picked up the mug, and I went to a green market with my mom. And you know, I have to say, not everybody is as fortunate to live near their parents, right? As they've gotten older, they've moved and they don't live near their parents. And as such, I don't want to say we lose touch with who they are and they lose touch with who we are, but we lose touch with who each other is, you know? And I, as the daughter, was very good when the kids were little to bring my kids down here. But my mom has never been the best at coming to visit me. So, it's just been... and the longer the time goes in between seeing each other and the more we've grown, we grow apart a bit. And I just decided this year that with the passing of my dad, that I wanted to get to know who she is, because we all grow, we all change. And I realized that she has really no idea who the hell I am. She knows who I was, growing up, but not, maybe who I am and at my core and my core values, but not really who I am now. And so it gave us an opportunity to, spend some time and learn about each other. And when we went to the market, the farmer's market, it was more than a farmer's market. There were only like 2 produce people. There were a ton of bread and pastry people. There were flowers and dog biscuits and food vendors and oh my goodness. There was a baklava, like the best baklava, I think is what it's actually called. There was, and then that was on part of it. It was huge. And then the other part was more clothing. Yeah, accessories. I bought 2 pairs of sunglasses. My mom helped me pick them out. I'll have to show you. I don't have them out here today, which is kind of crazy since I'm outside. But they were different. They were very, very different. One is more almost like rectangular, and one is more oval this way. Yeah, I don't normally buy those kind of glasses, but I did. And I like them. There's something different. I couldn't decide between the 2, so I got them both because I'm always misplacing and sitting on. Do you do that? Do you lose your sunglasses? I don't spend a whole lot of money on sunglasses. As a matter of fact, most of the sunglasses I get at the, what do they call it? The 5-quarter store, the 5-quarter store, the dollar store. Yeah, because I'm constantly losing and misplacing them, putting them on my head. They stretch out. Yeah. So, but this, I spent $10 whole each. I'll have to show you those tomorrow. But what did you do? Did you have a good weekend? Yeah, let me know in a comment below. What did you do this weekend? Did you get in some fun? And so what I was saying was, it gives me the opportunity to get to know her a little bit more. I had forgotten all the things that she doesn't eat. Like, she doesn't like mushrooms or peas or carrots. And I love all of those. And it just gives us an opportunity to get to know each other a little better. It's been really nice. It has actually been really nice. So if you ever get the opportunity to really get to have some quality time, we used to get together and just have lunch, right? Or just have dinner. You don't really get to know each other that way. You're just eating and chatting, and I get so bored with that. So this was so much better. Painting pottery, playing miniature golf, going to a farmer's market. Way more fun. Way, way, way more fun. And I've got a memory to remind me about the time I spent with my mom. So I love it. And how frustrated I was at, trying to tame the perfectionism. I hope you can hear me. The new house is, while it is beautiful back here, it is totally and completely beautiful. It is, the back has a very busy street behind it, so sometimes it'll get kind of noisy. And this morning I woke up wanting to chat with you about the words "I'm sorry." For me, the words "I'm sorry" have really lost their punch, because I find that not only everybody else, but me included, say sorry all the time. So it's kind of lost its meaning. It lost its, not its meaning, but its importance, its weight. I can't think of the word. If you think of the word, write it down there for me. But the importance, it's just, it doesn't mean much anymore. When we bump into someone, we go, "Oh, sorry." If someone says something and we can't quite hear them, we go, "Sorry?" So it's used so frequently that when a situation arises, which has arisen, and somebody says, "I'm sorry," sometimes, I don't want to say it's disingenuous, but it just doesn't seem to have the same meaning to me. Especially when it's followed up with the words "but." "I'm sorry, but I was really aggravated by a phone call that I got beforehand. I'm sorry with what I said, but you triggered me. I'm sorry, but..." I don't really feel like that's an authentic, genuine apology. So I've asked when people apologize, and I do this myself, when I apologize for misspeaking, for saying something that has offended somebody, that words that may have been a little unkind. I'm human. I may be in the midst of a frustrating situation, talking to somebody where it has something to do with an order or with a computer, and I'm frustrated and I'm on hold, and then the person doesn't understand and can't help me, and I'm angry and I'm disappointed and I'm low on time, and my husband or my kids call or my dog comes up and I lash out, right? And I do feel badly. And so when I apologize and say I'm sorry, I tell why. I tell what I'm sorry for. Not, "I'm really sorry I was frustrated and yelled at you." No, that's not an apology. How about, "I'm really frustrated. No, I'm really sorry that I yelled at you. You didn't deserve that." Period. Doesn't matter what was going on with me. That person didn't deserve that kind of tone, didn't deserve that, those words didn't deserve that. They didn't do anything except walk up at a bad time, right? And so I'm considering actually removing the words "I'm sorry." So if I bump into somebody, I can say, "Pardon me." I could say, "Excuse me." When this goes back to when I became aware of, constantly apologizing for things. Like, "I'm sorry I'm late," And really what you're saying, or what I'm saying, is thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience, right? So I have removed those words in those situations. When I'm late, and I despise when I'm late, and sometimes I can't help it. The lights, there's a train, the dog won't poop when I let him out, and I gotta make sure he goes to the bathroom. Like, shit happens, and sometimes I'm a few minutes late. And something blows up at home as I'm walking out the door, and I'm late. And I always let the people know I'm on my way, but I'm running a few minutes late. And when I get there, I say, thank you so much for waiting for me. I really appreciate it. I don't like being late, and I really do appreciate your patience. That's a better way for me to communicate than, oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. Just a thought. And when somebody has taken a tone with me, I appreciate it when they do apologize, if they apologize, and they apologize, that they say what they're apologizing for. Because if they're just apologizing so that I won't be mad at them anymore, that you're not really apologizing. It's not an apology. Right? It's, I want harmony in my house, and I want you to be pissed. So I'll just tell you I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. But I don't want to live with you being angry. And there are times where I say, I'm sorry that what I said made you angry. That wasn't my intent. But I always follow it up with what I'm sorry about. What I'm sorry about. And I've stopped apologizing for things like bumping into people, or being late, or when I don't hear people. I actually caught myself the other day. My husband said something, and I'm like, sorry? And that's really, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. What I mean to say is, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you. So being more clear and intentional in my communication is something that I have been working on for a while. And I've shared that with you, that it's not easy, and I make mistakes and I mess up. But I am at least at the point where when I mess up, I acknowledge it, right? I see it. Sometimes I can see it as I'm doing it. That's when I know that I'm learning and I'm getting better. When it goes from apologizing after the outburst to realizing I'm in the midst of an outburst to I'm getting ready for an outburst, and backing it up each and every time. So if I'm having a hard day or a difficult conversation with somebody, and my husband wakes up or comes up and says something, and I'm like, can't you just deal with it? Come on, there's only one of me. And I get really angry. I then apologize because he didn't deserve that for the question he asked. But I can now get to the point where, as I'm saying, can't you just, and then I stop. And I take a breath and I say, I'm in the midst of this. Can this wait? Or are you able to, I take it down a volume, right? I take a breath and take it down a tone. Eventually I will get to the point where he will come up, and I've done this. A great example is I was waiting for him to get off a call in the apartment so that I could read through this copy. I think I shared this with you, where I could read through this copy that was that I was doing with my assistant, and it needed a rewrite bad. And when I have to really focus when I need to rewrite something. And so I would read it, and something would pop into his head, and he'd be, oh, by the way, and I would look up and I would give him my attention, right? And we would finish whatever it is, the topic. And then I'd go back down and I would read it and I'd be thinking about how I want to rephrase it. And he goes, and I meant to tell you. And I stop and I look. And about the 7th time that he did this, I just started laughing. Now, the old version of Amy would have lashed out like, what the F? Can you not see I'm in the middle of doing something? But I didn't do that. I just started laughing because it was so humorous that literally every time I would read a sentence, he would interrupt me. I just started laughing. And then he realized what he had done and how many times he had done it. And he started laughing. He goes, I'm really sorry for interrupting you so much, babe. I was like, give me 10 minutes and I can rewrite this and then we can have a conversation. You can tell me all the things that you forgot to tell me. But if I can just have 10 minutes, it's a much better way to communicate than what the F? Can you not see that I'm in the middle of doing something? He doesn't need that. That's not effective. And so I was proud of myself because in that moment, I caught myself before I did it. And that is progress. I don't do it every time. Definitely not do it every time. But I'm getting better at it, more awareness. Remember my 3-step method, right? My 3-step method to change a behavior, to change your life is to be aware of it, right? The first one's awareness. The second one is consciously decide you don't want that anymore. I consciously decide that I want to have a better communication with the people I care about. And the third is take action. Take action. Do something different. Now I laugh. Now I take a deep breath. Now I pause. I take different action. I take an inventory on where I'm at in my head, in my personal space, before I respond to somebody. Do I do it every time? No. I'm human. And sometimes in the moment, I'm really frustrated. And in those times, I apologize and I explain what I apologize for. Not because they triggered me, not because they interrupted me a million times, not because I was frustrated. I'm not apologizing because I was feeling a certain way. I'm apologizing because I reacted instead of responded. Remember? If you didn't catch that one, there's a difference between reacting and responding. And I reacted instead of taking the time to pause and respond in a manner that I was proud of. Wasn't really proud of lashing out and being ugly. And so I apologize for that behavior to somebody that didn't deserve it in the moment that it was given. So, how do you feel about the words, I'm sorry? I'm going to tell you, I've now activated your reticular activator. So you're now going to see how many times you say, I'm sorry, and how many times people say, I'm sorry, and they don't really mean I'm sorry. They don't. You know, they don't. Sorry? When you can't hear somebody, sorry? Why am I sorry? I'm not sorry that I can't hear you. I need you to repeat yourself, right? Or when you bump into someone. Now, sometimes I inadvertently bump into somebody, and then I say, I'm sorry for bumping into you. I wasn't looking where I was going, you know? But I don't just go sorry and move on. That's not an adequate apology in my book. What about in yours? Let me know. On that note, I hope that you have a mega marvelous, magical, magnificent Monday. And I will let you go, and I will see you tomorrow. All right. See ya.